Let's look at resiliency, scalability, high availability, and capacity planning, and all of this for even cost optimization. If you look at compute engine, there are custom and predefined machines. Custom machine you can use it. If at all existing predefined machine, you cannot use it directly. If you need high CPU, high memory, a different combination altogether, then you can go ahead and use custom machines. But what we can do is we can go ahead and choose predefined machine, which is like existing predefined machine. I would start with semi-middle configuration, maybe 4 or 8 CPUs machines, and then depends on the requirement we can go up and up. We can choose either high CPU or high memory, depends on the requirement. We do not have any statistics around what is that it is going to run inside those machine, even though we know that it is going to be like game backend. But what it will be required, do we need to store and create the images on the fly for any awards with the images inside it and something like that, or no, it's all depends on your need. But you can start with some mid configuration or small configuration, and then you can go and increase, you can grow vertically, or you can add multiple machines into it, and there has to be a trade-off between those. You will also need to look at the network throughput. Preamtable virtual machine, I think it is not useful here to process as a game backend, because it will come and go and some of the session may be killed, right? You can launch machine and then you can store the session state or game state in NoSQL, which is our a file store database. But ultimately there, customer will see some impact in the performance in getting the data. Network throughput, you need to make sure that you're also considering vCPU versus the network throughput combination. So for each and every vCPUs you can get 2 Gbps, that is the configuration. If you go say 8 CPU vCPUs, you can clock it to 16 Gbps as a network throughput. Another thought is that which configuration do you use it for, versus SSD versus HDD, right? Whether you want to use huge amount of data in HDD, or you want to use faster and low size SSDs for your requirement, right? And that is also impacting your cost as such, because SSD cost much more. It gives performance really good, but it is very costly. I think for game backend, we need to go ahead and use SSDs for whatever our requirement is, right? And even if at all we are launching, say, new VMs, we want to use SSD so that the operating system performance also is faster. Other consideration: live migration actions, how to restart, startup and shutdown, scripts, and etc., right? Which you need to take care while configuring those compute engine for game backend. Auto scaling, we can configure auto scaling based on the requirement. What you can do is, where whatever region you're launching, right? If it is in Asia, Europe, US, or only North America, something like that, you can configure your game backend into those regions. uh, and then even if at all there are any requirements from say Asia, if there are like 1% users from Asia, you can route the traffic to US. But if the traffic is go on increasing, then you can just go ahead and launch the instance there in Asia too. You can configure auto scaling policy in the instance group level, and that is, you need to consider that you are configuring auto scaling policy, so that before it is creating too much problem to an existing servers, your server should start. So there has to be some buffer in which while you are starting the servers or shutting down the service, if not required, it is taken care, the load is taken care, and customers should not see the impact of auto scaling. Then you will need to have load balancers, and again it is all depends on majority of the cases what kind of load balancer you want to use it. Majority, I think I would say Multi-regional is what you're going to use it as a HTTP load balancer for HTTP traffic. If at all there are any other traffic like TCP traffic other than HTTP traffic, like the data is getting uh, pushed into Google Cloud Platform, some other means, then you can use TCP load balancer. You can use CDN for static content push up, like if at all you are creating a dynamic images, some blast ups, or you can launch some images or create the images real time based on the user's performance or customer's performance, and you want to use those images used by multiple users, then you can use that data as a static content and you can cache that into a CDN. Any of those parameter you can think as a cloud, right? So you don't have to make all the decisions in advance, right? So you can start with a small, very small configuration, and once you launch the game, and then based on the performance you can adjust a different parameter. You can choose different hard drives, you can storage mechanism, SSD versus HDD. You can choose higher configuration. You can just shut down the existing machine and then start the new machine with higher configuration. You can have instance template configured to launch the bigger and bigger instances, and that is all depends on your requirement, how you want to load it and how you want to optimize your the cost for those. Whenever you are designing, you need to design it for the failure, and this is very important in the case of when you are designing microservices kind of architecture. For now, I don't think we have microservices kind of architecture to look at 12 factor Martin Ford's 12 factor, but whenever you are designing, you need to make sure that you are designing it for failure. Like as an example, your one machine coming up or because of some problem, if the virtual machine is going down, because of the maintenance the virtual machine is going down. It could be a number of reasons when there are possibility that the virtual machine go down, or there is a connectivity issue to the virtual machine in some other region, right? You need to make sure that you are designing it for failure. You need to save your case, save your game backend or state into some persistent storage, maybe persistent disk where you can share the data, or you can store that into cloud storage, or you can store that into Firestore, right? So you need to make sure that you are designing it for failure. So there are other aspects to it as a resiliency and high availability, and we already saw this in load balancer configuration. What you can do is for zonal failure, you can create the services on multiple zones. For regional failure, you can create the services into multiple regions. I need to make sure that replication works. You can create infrastructure as a code so that you can launch your instances in multiple quickly into another region or in the same region, and then definitely you need to test the disaster recovery plan when you are designing it. You need to define and test the process to restore it, and just defining the process or configuring the process will not help. Sometimes you need to make sure that you are testing it, you are manually shutting down some instances and making sure that the instances are coming up in another region or in the same region. Security and compliance, you'll need to have multiple project, and I would expect for this kind of requirement, where you are launching an game, you can have a separate project created out of it. It means for a particular game, and then you manage multiple projects for multiple games inside one organization, and that's how you can have isolation. That's how you can have the billing calculation, revenue trade-offs and all that, right? You can create a separate project altogether for each and every game. You can design the VPCs for a project, or you can have, if at all you want to share some data between the games, maybe profile or something like that, then you can create a shared VPC and then use the centralized location to manage the network connectivities or network configuration, and then you can launch additional project or additional resources inside multiple projects or game project, right? There are different policies which you can apply it. You can create sub networks if at all, say you want to isolate some kind of premium users, or you want to isolate say dev stage and product environment in one region. You can create subnetworks, and that's how you can isolate uh, the games. If at all you need to launch, say, subversion or additional version of a particular game, and then you want to isolate that into network, the resource level, then you can do that using subnetwork. Then you need to make sure that your infrastructure or game backend is protected from different kind of attacks. You need to make sure that you are implementing IAM and security for each and every account, whether it is account or whether it is your service account, right? When your backend is accessing the Firestore databases, you are giving permissions accordingly to those machines via service account. Something gets compromised, you need to make sure that everything is covered there. And then encryption, if at all there are some customer data which we are maintaining, we need to make sure that we are encrypting the data. You can use Google KMS or the Google, the keys services directly from the KMS, and then use it for encryption, or you can supply your own encryption key. And then in the end, there are some services which are backend only services, like analytics services, right? That is not exposed outside. You can protect them using like Bastion host or NAT gateway. And then lastly, you need to make sure that the monitoring is in place, logging is in place, alerting or incident management is in place. Like you need to monitor the resources, whether it is in one region or multiple region, how the replication is working, and all of that. So those processes for managing the infrastructure resources also important to making sure that auto scaling is working properly, or the game backend is in healthy state than the bad stage. So once you decide the resources, right? So once you identify the resources, what resources which we are going to use it, then the next step is to make sure that you are configuring individual resources appropriately, whether it is compute engine, whether it is Firestore, you are choosing appropriate keys, whether it is ETL engine, if at all you are using ETL engine from Google Cloud Platform, whether it is Dataproc or Dataflow, whatever you choose is right, or you are using say PubSub, you are configuring it appropriately, because there are multiple ways you can configure different cloud resources. You need to make sure that you are using the configuration appropriately. That is what it is in the next section, guys. And I think almost we have covered all of it. What we are going to do is we are just going to run through the what is that we need to take care when you're configuring network, storage, compute, and all that, and ultimately come up with the final architecture.